and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We know.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace. I love y'all.
The reasons that we're here.
Welcome, Miss Reasons, y'all. That's right. Tell us what you feel about the topics we're talking about today. I'm your boy Fuel, and we got my man. Where you at?
You ain't like nobody on the camera. Fat Boy in the building. You already know what time we on. We here today.
And where else? What else?
Yo, Black Lift back in the house. Let's go.
Come
That's
on.
what's up, man.
Come on.
Yeah, we got a pretty good show for y'all today. So it's a lot to talk about. Let me see. I'm trying to get all up on this camera here. You know, if I doing up in this piece. But anyway, we definitely have a great show for you guys today. In case you didn't know, this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we're going to be talking about some of those things as to either look out for, how to avoid them, and how to get help. We're talking about all of that today. I will get everybody else in here in the second here. I'm trying to do my camera. I don't know why it's not working for me.
I'm sending out the show for everybody.
Huh?
There we go. I'll get everybody in this thing.
I know, right? Who we got in the house already? Oh, Moms, happy birthday, Moms. Yeah. Fat Boy, you supposed to tell me where y'all was meeting.
We didn't go. It was this weekend, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's go. What's up? And happy birthday to my sister, Shelly. If you're watching, sometimes she watches and don't tell me, but you know. Happy birthday to my sister,
Shelly.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
This
My
Libra,
lady
right?
who just had her birthday. That was Jen's birthday.
Is this Libra, right? Libra month?
Yeah, Libra month. You know,
Yeah.
I'm on the
Libra.
15th.
Libra has some of the finest women. Man, I swear, when I be looking at them come up on the thing and that's my birthday, woo, what? Anyway, man, let's get into it. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was, and actually that you sent me, Fat Boy, was about the violence of a study says shouting at children is just as harmful as physical or sexual abuse. What do you guys think about that?
That's tough.
Go ahead, Fat Boy.
What's the deal, Marlon? I got that was kind of extreme, but yeah. I can see what they were saying. I think that something that I'm learning, those things are the things that kills your confidence to defend yourself at a younger age, as far as to voice how you actually feel. It kind of kills that. Then it also makes you afraid to actually even voice how you feel, because you will be in fear of being yelled at. So I think it's a big reason why we all the way we react to a lot of the things that we react to, especially myself. Just growing up around a lot of women, you know, that's kind of how they were raised to raise you. You know, they just kind of yelled at you to get it together. And not knowing that it created a lot of anxiety for me. I react a certain way when I'm yelled at, when I'm disrespected. It affected me a lot. And no strike to my mom, right? Because she didn't know she was doing it. But I'm just saying that I can see how this experiment or this study, it makes perfect sense, because I deal with the the impact and the effects of it today.
You want to go, Woody?
Yeah. So once again, like people know, my wife is a counselor, and she read that study, and we kind of read it together, and I talked about it, and I said the same thing. I said that part of the issue is that when you yell at kids, you belittle them, and it makes you not want to speak your mind. But
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that I always tell everybody is that these studies are cool and all, but
Mm-hmm.
the bottom line is that when you know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody teaches you how to be a parent.
No.
So
Right.
basically, you
True.
get what you get from the people that raised you.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, when you yelling at kids, you don't know what it's doing to them because hell, it was done to you.
Exactly.
Right.
But the thing is like me, all of my kids are older, but like my 17-year-old, I find that I don't yell at it comes down to, once again, when you know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to express myself to him and talk to him and allow him to talk, not talk to speak back to me, not talk back. You know what I mean? But
Right.
you have to allow them to express how they feel, because if they don't, they'll just internalize that stuff and it'll eat them
Yeah.
up. Like Fat
Yeah.
Boy said, it'll eat you up.
Mm-hmm.
And so, once again, like Fat Boy said, I don't blame our parents, because once again, they learn how to parent from their parents,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I kind of agree with the study.
Yeah. So can the discipline be the same? Can you get the same results of discipline when you don't, because you don't, and there's a way of course, not like shouting and screaming out the top of your lung at your kid, but what about, what I'm saying, just basically, because what it says here, according to studies done by science, direct adult shouting at children can be just as harmful as physical or sexual abuse. The study says that their yelling at children has adverse, lifelong effects. And Fatboy, what you just said, that you do still kind of have the effects of that. Is
Oh
right? Is
yeah,
that what you said?
I'm still
You know,
tripping on niggas who talk reckless.
um,
No,
I, I I guess I might be the devil's advocate at this point, because I think you and Liv, we grew up together in the same household, so grandma didn't play, mama didn't play. We was getting hollered at every time,
Phil,
and it made
Phil,
us.
Phil, bruh, we had to go outside and get our own switch. You remember that?
Exactly. You know
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying?
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So, there are things that just, I know you want to play devil's advocate, but things need to change.
yeah,
You have to change once again as you learn
you
more,
gotta change.
and unfortunately today's society, these
Mhm,
kids are around too much violence. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
They're around too much. Look, today at my son's school, a kid brought a gun.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, a kid
Yeah.
brought a gun. This
Wow.
this stuff is happening day in and day out. And I think a lot of it comes from the fact that they're not paying attention to their kids. They're not
Mm.
listening to them.
Yeah,
They're
my
not watching them. They're not looking for the
Mhm.
symptoms of what's going on or what's going
I
wrong with
think
them.
that's why I'm on the line on this whole thing, man, because it's kind of like, you know,
yelling
I
doesn't
don't
hold
know.
on. Before you go further, yelling
I'm
doesn't
kind of on the
mean
line.
discipline. And I think
No, I'm
that's
not
what we
saying
kind of
yelling.
confuse it is, because that's how we were raised. There's where I'm learning to give her an open platform, my daughter, but also
Mhm.
discipline her by saying, hey, that's not cool. And this is why
Right.
that's cool. Like, she been getting into a lot of stuff lately. And then what I'm doing is I'm asking her questions. What do you think you could have did? Because I gotta ask my own self these questions when I react the way I
Mhm.
react. Right?
Mhm.
What do
Mhm.
you think you could have did better at this situation? Well, I could pick another crowd. Or what do you, I'm trying to learn different ways of doing it, but at the same time, the way we were raised wasn't the proper way, because it is also the reason why we can't communicate when we being yelled at, or when we're frustrated because we don't know how to slow down our thoughts. Speaking from somebody that from experience that just went through something where you just don't know how to calm and slow your thoughts down because of those moments. Because of those frantic moments where you didn't understand and you wanted to defend yourself and you couldn't. Now you're an adult, so now that's all you do is defend yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you felt like you had no platform or no space.
Do you feel that you're reaching your daughter with the tactics that's the way that you're doing? Do you feel like are you getting the results that you need? Of course, without yelling.
I
You know what I'm
do.
saying?
I do because
do you feel like when your voice is a little bit higher or whatever is the only way they see that you mean it, or
well,
that
see,
you
I got
know
a
that you're
certain. First of all, I got a certain voice. Rarely do I even
uh-huh.
yell at it, but a certain face and tones. They even know
I don't have to be
that
voice too
I
deep.
ain't gotta go too crazy, right? So they already know that. But what I've been doing lately is it's allowing her to feel free in talking to me. She has an open space to where even a little situation, a little tiff to happen where I kind of took her mom's side over her and it messed her up. But I had to let her know that, hey, we're a team on this part, so I can't go over your mom. But you still got the same space because it bothered her. And I realized that she thought she couldn't count on me the same because children are like that. But she had to realize that no, daddy is not going to side with me over mama because of whatsoever. He's going to get to the bottom of it. But I've created such a space for her. Like sometimes when I go pick her up, all I do is just let her talk about the drama at school, the bullying and things. And every once in a while I interrupt and I say, hey, I don't think that's cool. You know, you ain't supposed to do that. Let her talk about how her and her mom ain't clicking. And I say, hey, well, you know, you're supposed to respect your mom. I kind of intervene, but in the same breath, I'm learning to give her a space to speak, which in return, she continues to talk to me. Like it's to the point where she's like, I can't wait to tell you. I got a lot of stuff to tell you this weekend. You know what I mean? And so
but you have some kids. You have some kids that can respond in a respectful way from maybe how you projected towards them or whatever. But then you also have kids that's just irate and just Mom, you just don't know. You just don't understand. You nah, nah, nah. And then your mom is hollering back, well, you know, I'm the mother. I'm the parent. Whatever. You need to do what I say. But you know what I mean? And you get that or whatever. And that's just, to me, I don't know if that's a natural, because the parent maybe, like you said, is not thinking. They're just wanting to get out the fact that, hey, I'm running things, blah, 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 whatever. So they go, so they kind of end up shouting or whatever, instead of having that poised, conversation with them, like you said, like with your kid or whatever. What you want to say something? Go ahead, Wood.
So what I found is, just like I've said in other relationships, you have to listen to understand and not to respond.
Right.
Just like any relationship. The problem is that adults tend to look at young adults and not have any respect for them.
That's really what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Respect has to go both ways.
That's
and
really
regardless, like when we was little, our parents was like, nah, you shut up because I said so.
Yeah, no respect.
Because I'm an adult.
No
and
respect.
You a kid. You shut your mouth and I don't want to hear it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But what we have to do now is we have to understand that I'm not saying kids are smarter than us now, but kids nowadays are more sophisticated than we were when we was little. You know what I'm saying? So to me, if my kid came at me and was like yelling and stuff like that, I wouldn't yell back. You know what I'm saying? I would be like, okay, let's calm this conversation down. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to yell at me, just like I'm not going to yell at you. We're going to have mutual respect and we're going to talk this out and we'll get this figured out. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, old school is like, nah, I'm the dad, man. You shut up because I said so. That stuff don't work today.
And being that you said that a few weeks ago, and my daughter's she's 23 in the next month or so, right? But she was going through something and she was hollering on the phone. and I ain't trying to talk calm and cool or whatever. But she's still talking over me loud and not hearing what I'm saying until I had to match her energy or whatever. You know what I mean? Which I never had to do as a kid when she was a kid. I never had to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, and I think I was fortunate to have kids like I had my son and her, because all I had to do is say something and or give a look, and it's a done deal. You know what I mean? So I didn't have over the top like that or whatever, as like we said, like our parents did, like our grandmother did, and stuff like that. But uh, what do you think though, as when they are really screaming and hollering at you or whatever and not hearing you, and you do have to bring the volume up a little bit and kind of and check them and put them in place because they're not listening to anything else? I mean, would that be as a category as same as as abuse as well, or no?
First of all, she's an adult.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, even
Okay.
if I'm saying you can say that for adult or a kid though. That's what I'm saying, or a kid. So
So you're talking two different things. We're talking like the study, we're talking about younger kids. But for you as an adult, me personally, how I handle that
she's
with
still
my
my
grown
kid. So
kids.
I just look at it like
No,
that.
no, no. I get it. I
My
get it.
kid.
How I handle that with my grown kids.
Hmm.
Look here. If I gotta raise my voice,
Hmm.
okay, we finna table this conversation and
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later.
Hmm.
You feel me?
Right.
You gotta just like when you get a blister on your arm, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take the heat out of that.
Mhm.
You
So,
feel me?
are you guys telling me that y'all never gotten into a shout match with y'all kids ever?
I'm
I
not
'Cause I ain't
I'm
gonna
just
not
lie.
saying that.
no,
I'm
no.
just saying that
I just kind of yelled at my daughter.
Mhm.
But I didn't yell at her. What I did was I raised her. I had to check my tone, but I text her because I text her and just told her check
You
this
yell
out.
text. You did a yell text.
I did it
all caps.
not all caps,
Capital everything.
not all
Capital.
caps, but just I kind of checked it. But lately I
Yeah.
haven't been. Lately
Uh-huh.
I haven't been. When she get to doing like the unnecessary stuff, like you said, I may have to say, "Hey, calm down," and then I bring it back down. You for
Right.
her. You feel me?
Right.
Because she get
Yep.
all irate and nobody's here for me. And my
Mhm.
my daughter's very theatric. So she go
Right.
crazy with it sometimes. So
Yeah. Yeah.
nobody and everybody. And so, but you also gotta listen to those things too, right? You gotta listen to those cues. So I'm saying, hey, all right, and then, but she'll text me later and say, well, she'll text me. She texts me say, Dad, I'm sorry the way that I
Mhm.
acted or whatever,
Yeah. They think
because
about it.
she
Yeah.
know. One, I'm
Mhm.
just like I told her. Only thing I told her, I said, don't be calling me asking me for stuff if you can't respect your
Mhm.
daddy.
You can't do it.
That's
Right.
that's my only bargain I got. That's kind of
Mhm.
where I draw the line.
Mhm.
Like if you can't respect your father, I don't got nothing for you.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
my 17-year-old, if I yell at him, he shuts down.
Mhm.
And then we get nowhere.
Yeah, it's
Right.
over with.
So you know what I'm saying? So basically, we just get to a point where we have mutual respect where it's like, okay, all right, you're not gonna yell at me, I'm not gonna yell at you. Let's try to figure this out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk through it. Because
Right.
once again, we both gonna shut down. Cause nigga, if you yelling at me, nah, man, I'm the one that put a roof
Think
over
more.
your head, boy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I go in the straight, nigga. I'm the one pay your cell phone bill.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
buy
Yeah.
the groceries. Man, don't.
You go to full daddy
Yeah.
mode on
Hey, you
on
finna get hungry, nigga. I ain't trying to play.
Right.
No.
You go daddy mode on them.
You
Hey,
go
Yeah,
full daddy
real
mode.
quick.
yeah.
Mom said it's not her birthday. I don't know why I
No,
feel
it
sick.
was Jen's birthday.
It was Jen. Man, I thought you said it was your mom's birthday.
No, I says Jen's birthday. You don't
Did
want to
you?
like the
Oh, well, happy
photos,
birthday,
fool.
Jen. My bad.
He don't want to listen. He
I
don't
just
want to
did.
listen.
No, no. For some reason, I don't know why. You know what? And I seen
He
the
liked
pictures
the
too.
photos,
No, no,
Blacklist.
no. I seen the pictures too, or whatever. And I was thinking like y'all celebrating her mom. I was tripping. Anyway, mom said, here we go. Here we go.
She said,
As you
as you
as you learn the
learn.
process of parenting, I
Okay, go ahead.
learned late that yelling wasn't a good approach. But
Mhm.
babies don't come with instructions.
I agree.
That's true. That's true. Exactly. It's kind of like we like you said earlier. I think you said it earlier. You learn as as you go,
Right.
or whatever. You know
You
what I'm
learn.
saying?
You learn as time goes on.
As
You
time goes
learn
on.
more. The more time goes on.
Go ahead, fat boy.
She says, yes, you can use the reward and merit system, which always you, which allows
You
you to
sound like me.
reinforce the structure and discipline.
You
I
sound like me.
agree. I, I I like the reward and merit system. I just kind of like I've been kind of liking giving her the space and just letting her know. I've already kind of laid the groundwork. They already know their daddy don't really play that shit. So
Exactly.
I don't really have to do the reward merit. Because you're gonna get because I have girls, they kind of call and get what they want anyway. My daughter, my oldest, especially, she always got some new shit she want. So she get what she want anyway. So she know that I'm just gonna shut down what they really call you for. And that's the goal. That's the money. See, I know what's going on. I'm gonna hit her where it hurts. I ain't really gotta yell. I'm gonna hit her in the pocket.
Yeah.
But no, I know.
Well, I mean, when you know what it's a good thing to know what actually puts your kid in line.
Hit her in the pocket, she gonna be like,
it's a good thing, and it's not the fact that you even tell them. It's just kind of like it, but you ain't got to share with it. You just do it. You just do it. You know what I mean? Mom says, and when you are a single parent, the navigation of discipline a male child sometimes make you react forcefully, verbally, not always the best approach. Yes. With a male kid, I understand because it's the toughness you got to kind of, bring out, I guess, or whatever. Like you have some moms, and I hate to say this, like sometimes, like white kids, mom, oh, Bobby, you don't do that. You didn't do,
that's the right. That's actually the right way, though.
That's the right way.
No, man. Look, me and my wife had that very same argument in the bed last night. We was talking about the difference between black parents and white parents. Yeah. And I was like when when they're in the store and they running around, it's like, oh, come on, Jimmy, please come stand next to mommy.
No.
Yeah, you get your ass over here.
Get your ass over here. Oh, you right. Okay, you right.
Look, I told you outside, don't be running around this store.
Yeah. So basically, you don't have to yell, but you can still have the aggression in your voice to say.
You gotta have some aggression, but you gotta start early.
Yeah, because you're the authority. You the parent. You gotta have that.
Start early. I never really yelled at my girls.
Right.
I used to whoop them until I realized that I was a man and I couldn't whoop, and it just ain't a good look for them. So I stopped whooping them.
No, man, men are heavy handed, bro. That's why men spanking little kids.
Yeah.
I
don't know if my son want me to tell this, but I whooped him one time, man. He was probably like 2 years old, 3 years old, because he picked up somebody's cup at the mall and started sipping out of it. I was heated. I was on fire.
I know you was.
It was crazy. But that was the last time, the only time or whatever. He never did it again, that's for sure.
That's a life lesson there.
Marley, let's get this one real quick. We're going to go to the next one. Daddy mood is the worst tone. Oh, this ain't the same son that you knew once. I don't shine shoes no more.
He ignorant. Marlon's so ignorant. He always got some rap quote. Tie in.
In other words,
shit.
Right.
Marlon, wow, man.
All right, let's move on to the next one, man. Hey, so of course, like we were saying before, communication. Do we want to get into that? No, let's stay with domestic violence since we basically, So guys, like I said, today is domestic violence. I mean, this month is domestic violence awareness. And there are several places or people that numbers that you can actually, and I'll post it hopefully before we get off the show here, where you can go to in case that in a situation of domestic violence. But I just kind of want to share for those of you that don't understand what domestic violence is. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time when victims, allies, advocates, and communities at large come together and mourn lives lost to domestic violence, celebrate progress, and highlight resources available for victims. And so that's basically what the meaning of this month is. According to the County Attorney Office, Arizona sees about 100 fatalities a year because of domestic violence. Yeah. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. It's really crazy. But What do you guys, as far as you know, you can actually uh put together or help, or you know what I'm saying, when it comes to domestic violence or whatever, what kind of advice can you guys, you know, if I don't know if you guys have been in, matter of fact, have any of you guys been in a situation? And then tell us how you handled it and how you came out of it.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If you
Hmm.
get domestic violence, you going to jail. I'm just letting you
Hmm.
know that I'm gonna go. Fat Boy gonna go ahead and drop it out there like that. See, but for men or woman, if you're in a domestic violence situation, seek help, man. Get some counseling. And then for the people who are doing the domestic violence, also
Hmm.
get some counseling, man, and work on them issues you have. Because I think that's just really what it is. People don't know how to process and deal with the fucking anger that they have.
Sure.
And allow people to go through and allow people to pull their strings and shit. Um,
Hmm.
I've had domestic violence in issues, not issues. I've had domestic violence events in relationships in the past, but I learned that you're gonna go to jail. You better get your fucking emotions together. So I don't give a fuck
Right.
if you yell, curse, scream, walk, break, anything. But what you don't do is raise your hand. And then it goes back
Right.
to that's just all jokes. You know, I got to clown a little bit, but all jokes aside, you ain't supposed to be putting your hands on no woman anyway. Just all truth be told.
True.
Now if she busting you in your shit, you definitely got to get out of there. But what I will say,
Well, it goes both
yourself
ways.
all
You know what I'm
times and keep the jab up. No, I'm just playing. But if she whooping your ass, you can't just let her whoop your ass and vice versa.
saying?
Protect yourself at all time and keep the jab up. You know.
Right.
But
Right.
no, all
Hmm.
seriousness, make sure you get help. Make sure you call somebody. Uh, don't seek. I would say seek necessarily refuge in friends and family. Get a restraining order. Do whatever you can to get out of that
Yeah.
situation. Unless you
Yeah.
think that you guys can work on it. If you think that you guys can work
Yeah.
on it and go move past, but it is getting extremely scary with the amount of sisters that's being getting killed by their fucking boyfriends. I didn't even notice until my girl, she kind of be on it. It's getting out of hand. Like
Yeah.
I'm not for, I'm all clown all jokes aside, but it's getting out of hand. These dudes is really doing wild and out, killing their girlfriends with pregnant girlfriends, putting them in trouble.
But once
It's
again,
getting,
it's also the women
oh,
too. It
we
is
know
the
that.
women
We
too.
know that, but it's a lot of men tripping out here, and it's a lot of black men. I didn't even know black men was really like that, and I didn't even know we was as crazy as that. But it's a lot of black men out here killing their women. So, for people who involved on both sides, seek some damn help mentally. I think that you definitely need help, especially the men and women who killing their husbands or feel
Yeah.
like they have to, because I don't know what's.
All right. Go ahead with it.
So I'm gonna say the exact same thing that some of the things that Fat Boy said. Number one is if you find yourself in that situation, get out. Don't
Right.
don't stay there because there are some people that you just can't save.
No, can't say.
And what you need to do is save yourself. Save yourself, save your children, save whoever needs to be saved, but get out of those situations. Having grown up with, you know, I don't know if you even know this, Fuel. You know, my dad put his hands on my mom all the time.
Well, I knew about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
at the very beginning.
yeah. From that, that's why
So,
I spent a lot of time at mama's house.
exactly.
Yeah, so
Right.
I grew up in that situation, and the one thing I also want to say is that if you are a child that grew up in that kind of situation, in my opinion, it's going to go one of two ways. You're either going to be the exact same, or you're going to try to be the
Right.
exact opposite.
Right.
Okay. So what you need to do is analyze yourself and figure out which way you're going to go.
That's
Well,
Seek counseling, seek aid,
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to
seek
say.
help,
Yeah.
because, like I said, I grew up in that, and I for sure was going to be the exact opposite of what my dad was. And I
Yeah.
made sure
Yeah.
that I would never put my hands on nobody. Now, you once again, like Fat Boy said, you also got, and like Fuel said, what you got to understand is some of these women is rough.
Yeah,
I
they
mean, I
got
done,
to
I
keep
done
your head
had,
on the swivel.
you know, you have chicks spit in your face, call your mama a hoe, and all this other stuff because they want you to hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But you
don't
gotta
be
leave.
pouring
Let me
fire on you. I've been
Yeah,
with a
you
woman.
gotta leave. Get out of that
I
situation.
get out of there.
Don't put your hands
yeah.
on them. Get out of there.
Yeah, you're right.
Let me share something with you guys. A couple of things I'm gonna share real quick. When I was younger, um, my mom was a part of the whole domestic violence thing. You know,
Mhm.
they used to, friends, her boyfriend or whatever was, they drink, and of course, after they drink it escalates,
Mhm.
real big. One time, uh, I was hearing it. I got tired of it. I tried to jump on the dude myself or whatever. I was little, and I'm talking about scrawny than what I am. Right? I was little and
Mhm.
skinny, and I jumped on the dude, and he threw me back. He was real cock strong, whatever. He threw me back, hit the wall, and my mother went hell afraid, and kicked his ass down the stairs, dude. Like kicked his ass, and but and then it, of course, involved police, you know what I'm saying? And then now you got this record because of someone's ignorance and stuff. And I grew up seeing this type of thing. And I was like you said, guys said, I didn't, I wanted to be the opposite of that
Mhm.
when I grew up. It's kind of like it never thought it occurred to me in my mind or whatever to be violent towards a female, So as I got older and just past maybe 8, 6, 7 years ago, my past relationship, tried to, and that's why I said women are trying to be sneaky with that
Mhm.
shit because she tried to lure me
Yeah, you
into
gotta watch yourself, man.
right. Yeah, she tried to lure me into it, because she tried to, try to like, how sometimes someone try to step on your manhood, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, and try to, punk you or whatever the case may be, and I wouldn't go for it. So the fact that I wouldn't go for it, what they did is scream to the top of their lungs so somebody else will call the police instead of them
Mhm.
because they know what they was doing wasn't true or whatever, and it wasn't really, nothing I was doing. They just wanted me to be punished because they were upset.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But what I did is left it.
Mhm.
I left it, you know, and whatever else that I needed. I didn't, material shit that I left or whatever. And it's material things. I
Mhm.
don't care. I'm not going to spend that time in jail or locked up or whatever and have a record or whatever because of ignorance of somebody else. You know what I mean? And so when it comes to this, you guys and you guys out there listening, do think, when a woman or even with the guys, you know what I'm saying? If someone's trying to crush your personality
Get your ass over
or
it.
a dog you out. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Then, just take a step back. Take a step back. Think of whatever and just walk away from it and then come back maybe and discuss it if y'all in a better place from that point, you know. But there's is nothing worth, having all our black men, especially in
Mhm.
jail, and doing more time than probably someone that killed somebody just because of
Yeah. Domestic
domestic
Mhm.
violence, they
violence.
gonna throw your ass under the jail. You better stop playing.
Exactly. We want to get away from
Yeah,
that.
but just like
Exactly.
Phil said, what people need to understand is that look, in my marriage, Phil, man, look, if I was out, I was out. Because
Mhm.
I never, ever, ever in my life worry about possessions. Because
Mhm.
just like I got that, I can get it again. I don't worry
Mhm.
about that. If
Mhm.
I'm out, I'm out. I'm not, nah. I don't have time for that. Like you said, I'm not going to jail or worse is like I'm not gonna put my hands on a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
that's just me. Like I said, because as regardless of what's going on, in every woman, I see my mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
good
I see
bar.
my mother getting her finger broke. I see my mother getting beat, thrown in the bushes, stuff like that. And so
Mhm.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I won't.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right.
Marlon said, "Yeah, yeah, man, it's sick out here. We have to get emotion in check. It's a lost situation. Folks got to stop nonsense.
I agree.
Absolutely, Marlon. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Uh, Here, get that next one.
Uh Marlon said, damn, sorry y'all. Sorry y'all had to endure that stuff. Glad y'all grew up to be stand-up men setting the example.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Thank you, sir. Ben said the family's in there. The whole family is in here. What else we got? Ain't no one worth freedom, trust me. Yes,
Mhm.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you guys got anything else on this or whatever before I actually close that part
Yeah, no,
out?
just make sure you give them the information. But you know,
Right.
all jokes aside,
Yeah.
in all seriousness, I think we've all experienced some form of domestic violence in our lives with our parents and things like that. Just not knowing how to process their anger and emotions. I think that you just need to seek help. Call the proper authorities and seek the proper counsel and make sure that silence is acceptance. If you see something, say something, and that's for friends too.
Yeah.
If you see a friend being harmed or something going on, y'all say something and bring it to a head, especially when it's real bad. You know when it's real bad, when they get bruises, eyes always black, it's getting out of hand. Definitely say something and then catch it before it does. So make sure you put that information out there and let them know. And to all of those people who going out, who's going through that, we're here for you. Like I say, seek some help and he gonna give you the information. And like I said, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You start whooping ass, you be all right, men or woman.
Yeah.
Well, men get your ass out of there, but women, he ain't gonna be too nice with a fat eye either. Go ahead, bob and weave, whoop that ass.
So if you guys are out there and know someone that's going through it, you know, just by suggesting to them sometimes, hey, you need to call this number. You need to, get counseling or help with this or whatever. They can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. It's 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799-SAFE, SAVE, which is 7233. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The hotline provides essential tools and support to help survivors live their lives free of abuse. So definitely, pass it on to anyone. I will scroll it on here by the end of the show as well. So you guys, if you know somebody that knows somebody, you just never know. You know what I mean? But it's always good to help. Vincent, what'd you say,
So
Vince?
Vincent
Vincent
says
said,
a lot of our people think that going to counseling or even seeking help is a sign of weakness, which is the most uneducated and warped way of thinking. You need to go back and look at ours. We had a couple shows ago. We talked about that very thing, Vincent, and you're 1,000, 1,000,000 gazillion percent correct. And we all have sought some type of counseling or some kind of help because, like you said, our people seeking mental health for Black people is seen as a weakness. It's seen as soft or something like that.
That's my cousin right there, y'all too. Shout out to my cousin. Thanks for tuning in.
Shout out, cuz. But yeah, we don't believe in that. We believe that everybody deserves help and should seek counseling.
Exactly. All right, man. So let's get into it real quick. It's that time. History and Blackness with my boy, Fat Boy in the house, man. Who we got this time, man? Who we got for
this episode? We're gonna do it a little. I got a little tongue tie. We're gonna do it a little different for the History of Blackness. This time we're gonna do an actual city out of Georgia called Oscarville. During the 1900s, Reconstruction era was a very dominant era for African Americans in this country. It was the last time we really had true power in this country and true independence, more or less so than we do now. Kind of more of like what Black Lift talks about, not working for the man and owning your own and all of those things. And so Oscarville was a town. In about 1910, the town Oscarville had nearly 1,100 African Americans, and many of the families owned their own homes and businesses in the town. The community supported churches, and it included teachers, professionals, and businesses. All of this changed in 1912 when the neighboring of an all-white town in Forest County, separated by the Chattahoochee, I got that one right. The Chattahoochee River, which ran them out, forcing the people of Oscarville to sell their land for cheap or die. The attacks on Black residents escalated following the death of May Crow, an 18-year-old white woman resident of Forest County. She was found raped and murdered on the banks of the Chattahoochee River with little evidence.
Wow.
the police arrested 4 African Americans: Ernest Knox, Oscar Daniel, Jane Daniel, and Robert Edwards. After Knox allegedly confessed after being tortured, Edwards was lynched by an angry mob before he could make it to trial. Knox and Daniel were both found guilty and hung. Over 5,000 whites gathered to watch the hanging of Knox and Daniel. Decades later, the remains of Oscarville intentionally flooded. And so now Oscarville is what you currently know as Lake Lanier. This is one of the few cities that we're going to bring you that this has happened. Very prosperous African-American towns where in the height of or in their peak, they were ruined by white supremacist idiots and extremists. And so these stories are bittersweet, but it just shows you that there was a time where we could operate only solely off the black dollar. So that was kind of my purpose of this one, where there were towns where solely were like Black Lives say they kind of worked and ran off of their own thing. They bought their groceries in the town. They went to school in the town, and they built their own communities. And there's tons of them that we never even talk about. And a lot of them, coincidentally and ironically, are flooded by lakes. And so Lake Lanier is one, and then I got another one for you sometime in the future. So shout out to Oscarville and what they did in the 1900s. And like I say, post Reconstruction, prior to the hateful and outlandish crimes against them.
Oh, that's great, Marlon. You say you live 30 minutes from there, huh?
Yeah, he right there. He in Georgia.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So as far as you know, the town now, like what is it like now?
It's lake. It's a lake.
It's underwater.
It's under the lake.
They flooded it.
Oh, that's what you were
Yeah,
saying.
they flooded the whole thing. So what happened was,
Oh.
so really what they literally, so I'm gonna give you
that
some
photo I just pulled up is that's
I'm
the
gonna give you
town that
some
went
deep
underwater.
insight on it. The part right there is really was what they said. It was either sail or die. So what happened was once they basically once they killed everybody, they eminent domained it. And then once they eminent domained it, they flooded it and turned it into Lake Lanier. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Immediately after they burnt it down, they forced the people to sell. The people that didn't sell, they claimed eminent domain, and then they turned it to a river because what happened, they didn't really want people to know that that's what they did to those people. Because it's another one of them. You know, it's a bunch of them. It's the Rosewoods. You know, it's the Tulsas, the Oklahomas. You know, Black Wall Street. It's a bunch of them that happened within that early 1900s. Because, like I say, after slavery, during Reconstruction, the African Americans were the only ones with the real trades. So it was easy for them to make money. Not a lot of them knew how to read and write, but once they got that once the HBCUs became a thing and everybody started to become educated and started to farm, they really started to make a get in their bag. And the white supremacists who were so used to, excuse my language, the niggas doing all the work for them, they really didn't have no skills or no trades. And so it was hard for them. And a lot of people don't know the first riots in this country, were by white people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, for sure.
In fact, as well.
Yeah. That's you can Google. That's Googleable. I don't know if that's a word, but you can Google that.
All right. Grab that, Woody.
Said they told me when I first moved here to Atlanta not to go out there. The ancestors ain't playing. Ironically, Forsyth County was so racist, black folks got kicked out, and for 8 years nobody black lived there. So Marlon, I know that. I 1000% understand that. I used to work for Delta Airlines, and so I used to have to come to Atlanta a lot. And so up in that area, ain't nobody mess around in Forsyth County, man.
It's crazy because I lived there 3 years and I never went. I ain't even heard of it.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about it. Yeah, I never heard.
I heard about this a little while ago. But like I said, it's a bunch of them. It's one in Florida. Like I said, I got a few more for y'all that's actually buried by lakes, and then we have other ones that's just the town is just not at what it once was. But it's a lot of those affluent reconstruction communities, man, that'll blow the tops off a lot of the communities that we have now.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's our history and blackness, which was Oscarville.
And that's Forsyth. I sure said that wrong, the word wrong.
Yeah, Forsyth County.
Forsyth County.
Forsyth County. Oh, okay. Yes, and I learned something on that. Oh, I learn something every week, though.
Oh yeah. The first rise in this country, most definitely.
And like Vincent said, that's fun facts like love. You know what I mean? So, all right, man, let's get into the next one. Dude, so we've always talked about communication. We always, that's kind of like one of our things here that you're gonna get from our show, you guys, when y'all listening, is communicating. You know what I mean? Because it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So we're talking about communication. Tell me what you want and don't assume that I know. And I know, Fat Boy, you brought that before, so I'm sure you got something. I know you got something.
I got something.
What you got, man? What you got?
I got two sides to this today because I did couples therapy the other day. Shout out to my girl, always holding it down. Always, y'all. Even when I don't want her to, she says says some good shit. I just don't be wanting to hear it, but she always right.
I'm trying to be like,
I'm trying to get it. So shout out to her for that, for still pushing it into me. You know what I mean? Pause. That's crazy. For still beating it into me and keeping me right. But I said that because her birthday was coming. And I caught a little attitude with her because it was like she could tell. It seemed like, and we kind of talked over, but it seemed like she could tell her friends what she wanted for her birthday, but she wanted me to figure it out. And I just was so perplexed by it.
That's hard, man.
But it came out right later on. I don't want to get too much deep into it, but right. But it just came out that it's also her not feeling comfortable enough to ask for things as well. And so I had to swallow that pill on my end and being able to be more available for her to open that space. But I was saying that because I hear a lot of women, and this is no shot at women. I hear a lot of women, and I've heard us say this here, but we got this thing is, well, if you're paying attention to your woman, you should pick up on these cues. And I agree with that, right?
Yeah.
But a big part of communication is her telling me these things. Because yes, I'm supposed to be paying attention, and yes, I'm supposed to be observant, but until you truly tell me, I really don't know, and it's still all in an assumption. Now, a lot of times we get them right. A lot of times because we are paying attention, like we say, we're able to get them right. But a lot of the things, especially the things that are make or breaks, these are the things you should tell. You should be able to communicate. And that's on both ends, because as a man, I don't do it either. As a man, I don't communicate when I'm really hurting or when I need her to be a certain woman or do a certain thing. So it works on both sides. And then I kind of expect her to know that I'm upset and frustrated and I just need her to rub my head. I'm not saying that. And I'm expecting her to pick up on the cues, and that just ain't right on both ends. And so it originally started about her gifts, but then when you really break it down and start to talk about it, it's really everything. It's just understanding that, yes, I should know you, right? And I should pay attention to you, but I definitely need your information to be able to pass these tests.
Yeah. Let me I think, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Which you can tell me, but I still think I'm right. But women, especially when it comes to holidays, Mother Day, birthdays, and I get when they say that they don't communicate the fact that you should, they feel like that you should already know what they want. And the thing is that a lot of us as men, which I try to do if it's my girlfriend, is try sneaky tricky shit, you know what I'm saying, conversation to get out of her, like what is it that she really want, you know what I mean, without her letting know that that's what I'm working on or whatever, and that's sometimes that helps with the communication. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you had this communication about, something that she was looking at for a while. You know what I'm saying? And she probably never talked else about it, whatever. But then you kind of mentioned, she's like, oh yeah, she making a reaction. It's kind of like, okay, that's probably what she wants. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
I think they look for us to be creative in a way to not feel like they have to tell you.
yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
I
Everything
understand that part of it. But
you
to
know.
me,
Uh,
that goes against communication, right?
it does
Because
in a
prime
sense.
example,
In a sense.
this is how well I pay attention to my woman, right? We go to the dinner we went to. We end up going to Mr. A's at which is in San Diego. Nice rooftop. I was asking her what she wanted, but I know what she wants, right? So I'm in between. I'm in between a great view, but I know she love Italian, right? So I'm kind of mixed up. I find a great Italian restaurant, but it don't have the view I'm looking for, the special night vibe I need.
Right.
We get to the place for dinner. Guess what she asked for?
The view.
Pasta.
No.
She asked for
the
pasta.
view.
She asked for pasta. And I said that
Yeah.
to say, I know my woman so much that I knew that she would ask for pasta on that night. So it's not that I'm paying, it's not that I'm not paying attention, right? It is that I still would have liked to know, right? Because I knew so much so, and I told her at the date, I said, babe, it's so crazy.
You just wanted to be perfect. You just wanted to be
perfect.
right.
That's what I explained to my therapist, because I have such a high expectation for myself when it comes to my woman, and I don't want to disappoint or not knock it out the park. I be needing that extra push because I'm using a lot of my cues. A lot of the gifts that I buy are because I'm paying attention, right? A lot of the gifts she didn't tell me she wanted them, but I knew that she would like them because I'm paying attention. But she could have probably got an extra gift if she said what, you get what I'm saying? But what she also taught me, and we learned this in therapy, is that just through her life, it's not easy for her to ask for things because she's done things on her own for so long.
Which
being frugal don't make it no better. But I was telling her, I was asking her in therapy, and this is why communication is so great. I was telling her, I was giving her the 2-month space. That was giving her the time to ask as much as she could have asked for what she wanted. And I was giving myself the room to do that. But it still needed to be communicated on both ends. And so that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I do still
think that breaks down. That breaks down though only like if they're upset with what they've gotten, or if upset, or feel disappointed about what they've gotten from you or whatever. I think most at least in my experience, women, that if I got creative with something and did it my way of what I thought maybe it would make her happy. Say for instance, with my last woman, I took her to to the Magic Castle where nobody can hardly get in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Telling you that.
You know what I'm saying? I had a plug, and she didn't ask me for it. She didn't, I mean, at one point in time, she, said, yeah, can't nobody get in there, blah, blah, blah. That would be cool, whatever. And she told me that probably 8 months before, you know what I mean? And I made it happen, and that made it so, because I did listen at that time or whatever, and I just kind of brought it up, and just to see if she's still, into this Magic Mountain thing or whatever, just kind of briefly or whatever, and not really, pondered on it like we're gonna go, and I surprised her, and that's where we went, you know what I'm saying? And it was, dude, it was fire up until this Asian tried to holler at me, and she got mad.
That's
Asian bartender trying to holler.
That's probably my biggest problem.
But that's what kind of messed up the night for us or whatever, because and I wasn't even paying no attention to the chick or whatever, but my girl was like upset, like, and I think she did it on purpose. But anyway, we had a good time still. We did have a good time.
My best problem
is it's something like that. What up, Woody? We didn't ask you, dog.
Because I know you got something.
No, actually I don't.
What?
I know y'all shocked. Y'all surprised, huh?
That's all right.
No, I agree with that. But so there are different types of people, different type of women. My wife is straight up simple. And I don't, and I mean, well, no, I mean she's highly intelligent, but she's simple. I know her favorite color. I know her her favorite flowers. I know where she wants to, what kind of food she likes. There are certain times where she gets in certain moods, but for her, it's either Mexican or Italian. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a special occasion, we literally have we have spots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Here in San Antonio or in Austin, we got spots that, okay, I know she likes here, she likes that. But to you guys' point, you're exactly right. She told me what she wanted, and so I just happen to remember it.
Remember it. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, and she doesn't assume that I know. And right now it's almost to the point where she hates if I ask her, hey, where you want to go eat? She's like, oh my God, I hate when you ask me that.
Yes.
She
That's the shit I'm
already
talking
know.
about, though. No.
Yeah,
Does she know that you know? That's why.
Yeah,
Does she know that you know what
yeah,
you
she's
want?
like,
And
just pick somewhere and I'll be okay.
Yeah, that's how my girl.
yeah.
That's what she was saying. My girl said the same thing. Same thing. She said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So basically, if you just, as they say, if you just man up, pick a place, and just keep it moving. But that's it. But yes, you guys are right.
But
You have to be tell people what you want, and don't assume that I know.
It's anxiety ridden though, man. I mean, for me, because I guess I'm still a little young, and I wanted to be, because I know.
You say anxiety?
I be really, because I put it in therapy. I just don't want to disappoint this woman.
Let me ask you this.
I have so much respect, and I value her opinion, and I value her word, that it's something as special as her birthday that she's told me it is.
Yeah.
I'd be a little tweaking. I know this is the thing. Like Black Lift, you kind of, it's kind of the reason why I'm upset and I brought the topic up, because absolutely, she told me the blueprint of it. She like Italian, Chinese. She don't like Mexican. We gonna lay that out. She don't like that. You get what I'm saying? So these are the foods she like, right? Favorite is Italian. You know what I mean? So I kind of know that. I kind of know she likes to get dressed up and look pretty. I know these things. I know the basics.
From the sounds of it, Fat Boy, you sound like you put more on yourself than you probably
most definitely
have.
Always.
And that's, you know what I'm saying?
Always overthinking it.
Yeah, because y'all been together for a while, and you can probably can't even count on your hand how many times you disappointed.
I ain't never had a bad day. Come on, bro.
Exactly. That's my point. That's why when you think too much into exactly. So you're thinking into it too much or whatever, when she basically just kind of like, just do it. Let's go with it. Or you know what I'm saying? She's not this. She already know you.
She's
she know
spoiled.
She know you just like you know her.
She's
you know
spoiled, but y'all been together.
You know you're gonna put the effort in.
Like you say, y'all been together for a while. So I really feel as though no matter where you went, she would have appreciated it.
Okay,
exactly.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
That's why Phil is saying you putting too much pressure on yourself.
I agree.
On yourself.
Because if she, but I gotta tell you, hey fam, hey, much props. You scared? You say you scared. I like that.
Oh oh yeah. I'll be petrified just because you know, my therapist says this. I'm still learning in all aspects of my life. I'm still learning how to have confidence in the tools that I have. At times, it is hard to remember, hey, I got this. And then you let fear, false evidence, appearing real set in, and then it just kind of takes over. But you're absolutely right. I'm just a hard critic on myself because I wanted to go right so much.
Yeah.
But I know that in the back of my mind, I already know, all right, well, let me just execute it the way I know how to execute it. And it'll be all right. But up until she walks through the door and sits in the seat, I am probably a nervous wreck, y'all. And it's not a good thing, but it keeps it exciting for me. It's funny to say it, but afterwards it's exciting for me because it's like I did it again. I did a good job this time.
Yeah.
I don't never get complacent, right?
Yeah.
I got this, right? So it's always each time I take her out, it's always a challenge, which makes it a good date. That's also the reason why they're great dates, because I know, okay, last date I took her here and I wanted to be better than the last time, so I gotta go here with it. And so that's what makes the challenge for me, because it's like, well, last time we had wine and we watched horse racing, so we can't do that, but we got to do something different. What haven't we done? So it's always going to be nice, and she's going to like it because I'm always challenged. So on one side, it irritates me and annoys me, but on the other side, I like it because I always beat my last trip, or I always match it my last event, because
and understand that you don't have to be perfect. And then when I say that, is I mean it's like, if you're having a good time, you're having a good time.
Yeah, that's true.
When things don't go, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like you didn't get that view that you wanted, whatever, but you could have made whatever where you at just as special.
Well, we got the view, but you're right. We got the view, but she didn't get the pasta.
If it didn't work, I'm saying if it doesn't work in those ways or whatever, you know, because I'm the type of person, we gonna laugh and we gonna have fun, whatever. You know, sometimes we get somewhere, it get a little disappointing because of either the service or the area you're in, or you know, the crazy people around you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But my focus is on her and have a good time and have fun or whatever. And as long as she got a smile on her face and she's happy and laughing, I'm good. You know, and I'm not going to put that pressure on me as to, damn, this ain't work out right. This ain't where I want it. This ain't what I wanted for you. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's putting pressure on yourself or whatever that you don't really have to, because when you put the pressure on yourself, that's when things kind of go a little south with her. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like, well, then, you know, you feel like it has to be this and it don't really have to be that. And then that kind of, it brings in a little, you know, that anxiety and that, the tension.
It did.
Exactly.
It just something I'm learning to deal with. But I still would like,
that's what's up. Yeah.
I still would like, if I ask you, tell me. Damn it.
Right.
I know
you. Well, and we understand that you don't want it to get stale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want to keep it fresh.
I gotta keep it fresh.
You gotta keep it fresh. And like Vincent said, the importance of your presence on that day was what meant the most to her. Nothing you could have done for her would have superseded that, bro. Setting the bar high for yourself is good, and she notices.
Think you, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, because I appreciate that.
Yeah. So that's enough therapy for Fat Boy today. That's for us. That's for all of us. For real.
That was good. That was a good segment. That played out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's so funny, right? When you throw a topic out of there, it be so toxic. Like the shit come from sometimes, because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I might throw that topic out there, and not from a toxic perspective, but it comes from an egotistic perspective, right? But once we get it in here, and it kind of do the cha-cha, it becomes therapeutic. You get what I'm saying? And it takes the meaning of it, right? Because immediately when you ask me the question, it changes the actual mindset that I sent it in.
That you said, yeah. Because you had it on your mind in a whole different.
And then Black Lift drop his knowledge on it, and then you drop your knowledge on it, and then it do his little cha-cha there before you know it. I'm like, man, that was actually insightful too. That was a good one.
So basically what you're saying, Fat Boy, is like, it's kind of like I tell people, like with every job or every place you work, right? There's a rule, and it's called, every rule is written in blood. So the reason that rule is there is because something happened. So every topic you bring up is because something happened.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's because something happened. Yeah.
These is real life.
You're talking about real life situations up in this piece.
These are real life topics coming in.
Real life situations, you know? And it's good because not only are we going through it, you know, there's other people out there listening. That's why I love doing this, because they're going through it as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right, man. Importance of creating wealth. Wow. I think
this one was for you, Black Lift.
Yeah, a generational wealth.
I thought of you when I knew you was gonna have a nice perspective on this. And so,
what's the importance of it to you?
I want you to jump out there on this one, because you already putting together. First, you've already built your house from ground up. You've already talked about on the show where y'all looking to purchase a plot of land, acres of land, and y'all gonna do the mini homes. What y'all doing?
No, we're actually gonna do manufactured homes.
Manufactured homes,
Yeah.
and they're gonna do a family compound, and that's a way of establishing generational wealth. And so when I wrote that down and when I sent it to few, I immediately thought of you, and I wanted to know your perspective on it, and where do you take it at? And then we got Vincent in here too, so he's on a whole nother level of generational wealth with stocks and bonds. So it's a different perspective coming in.
Oh yeah, talk to us, Vince. Yes, definitely talk to us. But go ahead, Liv.
So, okay, so my whole thing is that generational wealth is something that you should try to create. However, in my case, you should look to just try to create a standard to live.
Come on. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, what we need to do as an older generation is we need to try to make sure that our children, our prodigy, whatever you want to call it, are able to have a place to live, are able to afford their own home, are able to do whatever they need to do in the future. The whole family compound thing for me, that came about because the economy right now, I'm not saying that it's bad because look, the economy is what it is. I mean, people want to try to put it on one person or one political party or something like that. And that's a bunch of bullshit. The economy is what it is because you have companies that are profiting off of America's despair.
Yep.
You feel me? There's a reason eggs went up 200% because they're making profit off of it. They could have kept the egg prices exactly the way they were and they still would have made money, but they're aiming for Wall Street and not Main Street. You feel what I'm saying? There's a reason groceries are, all this stuff is going up because these companies are merging and they're making mega corporations. And why lower the price or keep the price the same when I can raise it because I'm the only one that makes it. So you got to buy it. You know what I'm saying? It's these companies, these corporations. And so the inflation being what it is, we don't want our kids struggling. We don't want them not to have a place to live. If I can provide them with a foot up, a hand up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I want to do. But yes, generational wealth is important if you could do it. Like I was telling Fuel before we were talking. Look, we ain't Jay-Z and Beyonce. They out here buying, you know, buildings in Dumbo in New York and $1 million paintings and stuff like that to create generational wealth for their kids. And that's fine if you can do it. But if you can't, just make sure that you support your children enough to where they can make a living.
Yeah.
And that they
that
they have a place to live.
It doesn't have to be rich. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think
it doesn't have to be in the form of being rich. It's in the form of having something to constantly, like you said, have for your kids and their kids or whatever. You know, just say for instance, okay, my grandmother wasn't rich, you know, but she had a house and the house that was paid for and that someone could live in after she passes away, you know. Now my family, which is you already know Wood, you already know, you know, they let it go. They didn't think like this. They didn't think that this is generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? This is something that was passed on that you only have a note on, maybe just taxes on or whatever that you pay once out of the year. You know, and that could go on for whoever else to whoever grow up in that place like we did. You know what I'm saying? But then they kind of cut it short. You know what I'm saying? When my grandmother passed. You know, I wish that I would have been the one that able to get that place at the time. But now it's up. Somebody bought it for little of nothing or whatever, and you know they're going to have it for their family. You know what I'm saying? Because they're smarter enough to have that. You know what I mean? So generational help don't have to be rich. It's just to have something for your ones that's coming up, or whatever, to be able to pass on to someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that great points, Black Liv. Great points, Fuel. I think that there is a misconception of what wealth truly is. And I think what you said, Black Liv, is wealthy to me. I think that what we do is we put dollar signs on wealth. It's not necessarily that's not the case. What I meant
Not the
by
case.
generational wealth is exactly what you're saying, right? Being able to pass down a certain lifestyles as the Rockefellers, as the Rothschilds did to your family. I think that understanding what generational wealth is, understanding that you can establish generational wealth by purchasing the right life insurance, by creating certain amount of corporations and putting it in your children's name, and then while in the summer paying them off that corporation and creating accounts. There's so many things that you can do to build generational wealth, and it doesn't have to be Bentley money. But the great thing about wealth is that it can grow into Bentley money, right? And so understanding and establishing that as long as my expenses are paid and things are covered, that I'm wealthy. As long as I have a roof covered over my head, then I'm wealthy. As long as I got some food in my stomach, then I'm wealthy. And as long as I have money coming in and not all of it going out, and I'm making money in my sleep, that's when you would say wealth. I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce, of course, are at the top of the wealth spectrum. But I think that I always talk about a person that who's just who's just as he's not as wealthy as them, but he's always in the same circles, and that's E40, right? He's insulated himself to where he has built generational wealth, and he's not buying $75 million homes in Beverly Hills. But when you look at E40, he's damn near Jay-Z, right? He has a spirit company where he makes wine and liquor and all of these things. He does a record. Does music. He does damn near everything, right? He has a brand where they call Lupitas, where they do these little Lupitas, where it's very popular. It's a Filipino dish. It's very popular in the Bay Area. Then he also has went and diversified into the food industry, where he's packaging the burritos and he got ice cream. And I say that to say, he's built generational wealth. Now, is it Rothschild? No, not right now. But if it continues to grow and he establishes, like Vincent said, if he teaches his children to establish that it can continue to grow. But I damn sure, like Black Lift said, his children damn sure ain't gonna have to worry about how to eat, how to live. They good because he set that into play. So I agree with you, Black Lift. That is wealth. And so
what Vincent said is, I think the way we do that by teaching our kids the importance of good credit, setting them up early to have good credit as soon as they're of age. They won't teach our kids financial literacy in school. So
And
Vincent,
that's
you're 1,000% correct. They don't even teach, and pardon my language, they don't even teach fucking cursive in school anymore.
No.
So how do you expect them to teach financial literacy? They don't teach any of
we
that
don't
stuff.
use the cursive anyway, so nobody.
But that's
uses
supposed to be taught at home. And
Bro, it doesn't matter.
Cursive was in school.
I'm talking about financial literacy.
Yeah, but so financial literacy.
Yeah.
So as
it should be both.
As Fuel may know, I was a financial advisor. I had a series 6, 7, and 63. I was a stockbroker basically for American Century in Kansas City. And what I try to explain to people, what I always try to tell people is that land is wealth.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because what people don't understand is that if you look into our history, the major reason that we as Black people are where we are is because they took our generational wealth when they stole our land. You know what I'm saying? We have nothing to pass down to our future generations because they stole it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't there. But the bottom line is that we have to understand the fact that, okay, people have to stop renting for their entire life. You know what I'm saying? That shit is the most insane batshit stuff I've ever seen in my life. And unfortunately, Phil, my mama did that, man. My mama rented for damn near her whole later adult life. We had that house on 61st Street. We owned that. But then once they sold that, they rented. You know what I'm saying? And they rent, and it's people like here in Texas, in East Austin, the gentrification that's going on it used to be all Black. But because those people rented forever, Now the owners are selling that land and they're putting up these big fancy condos and all this stuff. And the black people have no place to live. They have no place to go. Vincent, you're absolutely correct. It's stolen legacy. And people that don't understand that are probably the dumbest people. And it irks me to no end. So when we talk
Well,
about
this is the thing.
reparations, that's what the reparations are for, because our legacy was stolen.
through land.
But understanding this as well, though. Understand this as well is a lot of us have been put in predicaments with the low pay, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
With the single household, you know what I mean? To the point where, it's hard for one, it's a lot harder now to do that for single parents or single people or whatever, as it is, with a couple. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A couple can work towards that, but it's harder if you're bringing up a kid or whatever, and society has made it hard. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you can only do what you can do at that moment at that time, and before you know it, you probably 10 years later looking at the same daggone thing because you couldn't get further because of how the way that society has kept you down. You know what I mean? So let me with that said, I want to ask the question, like, what do you guys think when someone is in that particular situation? And I can't say one is teaching the kids your credit. I mean, about their credit, the importance about their credit as a youngster or whatever. That does a whole lot. You know what I mean? But what else would you
I
guys
think
say?
I think honestly, before you could even think about generational wealth, you got to learn how to get out of the survival mode. I think
Right.
that's the number one key. I think a big part of
How to get out of
our
survival mode.
people's issue is we stuck in survival mode, and a part of our survival is looking good. Sucks to say it like that. Part of what society has made us think is you gotta look like something for somebody to give you something. Then you know what I'm saying. So a lot of our wealth and a lot of the monies that we do have, it goes to other brands, which makes other people rich. I think that if we understood what our small dollars can do, and like Black Lift said, and understood what the power of land is, and that land doesn't depreciate, and that over time wealth grows. So I could start here making $12 an hour, but if I put up 6 for the next 10 years, every you know what I'm saying, every hour, right? If I split my shit in the middle, I'll be good. And then if I take that money and purchase some property, you get what I'm saying? But everybody wants instant gratification in this era. So the number one thing is you got to eliminate instant gratification. And that's kind of hard to do, right? Because we live in an era where everybody wants to be famous today, not even tomorrow, right? Right now they want to be famous today. And wealth is grown over time. The Rockefellers didn't start out the Rockefellers. That shit grew over time. Carnegie, all of them grew over time. And then when you see where all the real money come from, Zuckerberg is a Rockefeller. They all coming from a certain money. So money is grow over time. Now we are in an era where an idea can get you wealthy in a century. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, most people with some real money, they've been working at it for a long time. You're Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett didn't become Warren Buffett till he was 60 years old. But he had made, now don't get me wrong, he had made an in insurance, right? But the Warren Buffett that we know him as, the investment guru, he wasn't that guy until 60 years old. And so he had been trading stocks since he was 11 years old. But due to technology, I do think that you can become wealthier faster, right? Through the advancement of technology. But for the most part, wealth is growing over time. It's what Black Lift is saying. It's establishing somewhere for now where my children don't even have to worry about where they're gonna lay their heads at and how they're gonna eat. And now they can go out and go be astute they can go be professionals and go chase their dreams, and then one might be a lawyer, and then one might be a doctor, and then the other may do that thing, and then they bring that wealth back in, and before you know it, it's starting to look like something. But I think that the key to it is understanding that team works, wealth grow out over time, and that instant gratification ain't gonna get you nowhere. That's the three things.
But it comes back to something that I said a while ago in one of our previous episodes. I told you part of the problem for me is that we as Black people do not work together.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
We do not work together. If we learned how to work together and got our shit together collectively, it would be a whole different conversation.
But we had the wrong mentality because, like you said, we let the social medias, the news, and everything else put certain things in our heads or whatever to feel like we got to be like them as opposed to them trying to be like us. You know what I'm saying? In other words, and Vincent, I mean, you killing it, dude. I'm telling you, man.
I told you he was gonna go crazy on this segment. I knew it.
And everything he's saying, man, is just on point. But that's basically what's embedded in our minds as kids, as growing up with social media and stuff the way it is, whatever. But having more people or conversations like this or whatever, as opposed to talking about some ass shaking or the violent shit that's going on and stuff like that, and give more information as to how to deal with your credit, how to make it save your money or whatever, where to invest it in, this whole insurance thing or whatever, all those things or whatever, is what a lot of us need more of, and listen to each other as opposed to trying to feel like, or take from each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of things that we do. We look, we take from each other as opposed to just learning from each other and trying to support each other or whatever to bring them up. Vincent said Rennie makes you comfortable and complacent. Then he also said, we learn how to survive before we learn how to live. And that's a fact. And it's because we're put in a survival mode at a young age. We're it's kind of like my aunt. I had, Tanya, my aunt Tanya, she's basically was the financial smart person in our family, as we, for me to look up to as growing up. But they never took the time, to say, hey, you're working, put this up right here, or let me do this for you so you make sure that you have something or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get that. I got from my uncles or whatever, as soon as I get a job and make some money, I'm competing with you with those clothes. I'm about to buy that. I'm about to look good like you looking at, you know what I'm saying? And the uncles wasn't like, no, you need to save your money. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't, you know what I'm saying? We didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? So in our generation,
the knowledge, man. I think it's just
exactly. Exactly, because of how society, especially when they come from, growing up from in the 50s and in the 60s and stuff like that or whatever, you know what I mean? Then you got the new drugs that came out, the new, the alcohol that just, that they put on every block or whatever in the Black neighborhoods.
I was just finna hit you with the whole 80s crack epidemic.
Yeah.
Right.
That right there is the seminal moment in our history as a people.
That ruined
because they flooded the streets with all this cocaine and all of this and all of that, and it was done on purpose,
for sure,
to keep us dumb, keep the men in prison, keep us down and keep us subservient. And what people don't understand, or what people don't choose to look at, is the fact that that's when the schools started going down. It wasn't nothing but single moms and a bunch of kids, and they had to get on food stamps and welfare and all of this and all of that. And they never taught anything.
It built this nation though, right?
Of course it did.
It built the nation on our asses. We talk about this all the time. Me and my father. I always, you remember Malcolm X was talking about taking the case to the United Nations for crimes against humanity against African Americans. And what I was telling me and my father talks about all the time is that crack era is probably even worse, or even worse than slavery, because they just ran into slavery. It just was a money thing. They intentionally did crack cocaine.
Oh yeah,
it was an intentional plot to destroy African American community.
Man-made
I'm going to tell you why. because after they ruined us and killed us in Jim Crow laws of Reconstruction, and they fucked us out of that era of my father and them, their parents had worked so hard, established business. The Black communities were thriving. Detroit was at its best, at its highest, and a lot of these African American communities were thriving. The best middle class community was the best middle class community in the 60s was in Detroit, and they were African Americans. And so during this era, once the 70s hit, we were really affluent. They needed a way to get us out of the way and to not focus on generational wealth, because that's what their parents on. But the crack epidemic, that era, they were intelligent and they were militant. And so what happens is, where we at now, either you intelligent or you militant. The people who were affected by the crack epidemic, they were going to change the world, because they weren't going to, you weren't going to just tell them anything because they were intelligent, and they wasn't just going to fall for anything because they were militant. They were a scary group of people. So it was blatantly done, like Black Lift said, because I don't think us as a people will be where we are because of the progress that we were making during the time of the influx of crack cocaine within the Black community. And I think go ahead.
So just touch on what Vincent just said, always trying to one up each other. That's what I said, is that when I told y'all the Jewish people work together.
Yep.
Okay. Mexicans work together.
Absolutely.
Okay. The Indians from India work together. And to an extent, the Africans that come from Africa, that are first generation Americans that don't like us, they can't stand us because they say we lazy, they work together. But the problem is we are like crabs in the barrel. If you see one that's about to escape, you just pull them back down. And that's what happens in our community, and that's what needs to stop.
Yeah.
I agree. No complaints. You're right. You're right.
Because they knew we didn't have the right mindset, it took to overcome the oppression. They changed our narratives.
I think that was probably the most pivotal time in history. I think that what happened during the civil rights era, what sparked out of that era, was people were tired, but they were intelligent enough to go by it in a political mind frame and a political standpoint. And so you had the Black Panthers, but because that's why I always talk about the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers were what our future were going to look like as African Americans in this country. That's why they infiltrated them so much. The Black Panthers were started on college campus by college students, by a Dr. Angela Davis, by a Huey P. Newton, right? By you know what I'm saying? By I think Ralphie Bunch. All of these people, right? They were all college students, but what they were doing was they were using militancy with education. So they were patrolling their own communities' needs and say, "Hey, policy says this, policy says that." And J. Edgar Hoover personally seen that and said, "Hey, y'all talking about this other shit? They a problem." Because what they've done is they've become intelligent and militant, and you can't do anything with intelligence and militant. And that's the thing that we have forgot, right? Those are the things that I think that if we get back to understanding the power of the mind.
So between them and the Nation of Islam, they were a problem as well. Which is why they infiltrated the Nation of Islam.
For sure. Killed Malcolm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They infiltrated the Nation of Islam big time. And they had spies, and they turned Black people against other Black people by offering them money and treats and all this other stuff. But, you know, between the Black Panthers and Nation of Islam, they had the right idea. Okay. But like you said, the government wasn't going to let that happen.
No, government wasn't having that shit.
Okay, so what you just said, they had the right idea. What would you guys, and not to go, you know, through the history of what's happened and stuff like that. Let's go forward as what is it that can be done for today that we can spread out, at least on our show, and the people and listeners that we're listening, that are listening,
I got
steps
I got
to
3
take.
books for you that'll change.
Well, not I don't want all 3
Oh,
books, Fat, but we ain't got
I
time.
got 2. But go ahead.
You
But yeah.
got- you got 2.
But I got 2 books for you that kind of
Yeah.
helped me just change my mindset on just finances, because I think that's just the key. I think that if we
Okay,
get
what book would that be?
Psychology of Money and The Richest Man in Babylon. I think them 2
The
books.
Richest Man in Babylon.
I think
I
them
got that
2
one.
books will help you
Yes.
understand financial literacy, be able to gather it, and then Psychology of Money will show you how to execute it. And I think that's just number 1 is knowledge. Seeking knowledge and understanding. Go get a CD and save and grow it over time. Like Black Lift say, if you close, you got a little extra money, go buy some land. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just jump right in there, that's my biggest advice. If you're moving forward, just get into the knowing. There is no way to be ignorant anymore of financial literacy, because there's so many ways.
It's so much out there now.
So much knowledge and things.
It's so much out there now. Go ahead, Woody.
So my number 1 thing is in my opinion, we need to reclaim the hood. You feel me? So like fuel. My daughter lives on 31st Street, right?
Right.
It's 2 houses across the street that was for sale for fucking next to nothing.
Right.
And you know who bought them?
At the auction. Somebody white.
A couple of pilgrims.
Oh, really?
Colonizers.
Well, that's white.
On 31st, off 31st, bro. What we need to do is quit trying to move into the suburbs.
I agree.
Quit trying to, you can make your house what you need to make it. You can buy a house on 21st Street in Kansas City or 31st Street or whatever. And you can probably get it dirt cheap. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But people don't understand when someone white comes in and buy a property, that's because their property is going to go up.
Exactly.
And some individual time, that's what, you know what I'm saying? So you got to keep your eyes open and keep your ears open or whatever, and keep knowledge as to what's going on in your neighborhoods, like you said, or whatever, to get the jump on them. Because every time, I don't care, in our neighborhood, if there's somebody white in that neighborhood, the value about to go up.
Number 1 and number 2, that's passive income. Even if you buy 2 shitty houses down there, you throw a couple of grand in them, fix them up, and I hate to say, but rent them out.
You know
what I'm saying? Build your portfolio. Start getting your shit together. And every city has a ghetto where there's dirt cheap ass houses where you won't buy. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because you like, oh hell no, man, that's on 13th and Myrtle, man. I ain't finna
take me right there. Take me right there.
Cool. Don't live there.
But this is the thing. A lot of people are afraid to do that is because we do have our own people that come in and fucks it up.
Yeah, but that's also, and this is what I used to tell.
I'm just saying that's what happens. A lot of people are scared of them coming in. You know what I'm saying?
That's off to you.
But listen to me, bruh, fam. The past is the past. We have to look to the future. You can't go back and correct errors that people fucked up back then. What we need to do,
I'm talking about today. What are you talking about? Yeah. You still got stupid asses that basically see something good that's going on or whatever, and they come in your hood and mess it up.
That ain't necessarily the case.
I get it.
You ain't from the Midwest. You ain't from the Midwest, bro.
I get it.
Trust me.
I get it, and I understand. But the bottom line is, the only thing that beats a failure is a try, brother.
Is a try.
And so if you don't put that bread out there and try to get that $15,000 house like these Mexicans are, you know what I'm saying? They trust me, bro. They'll go in there. They'll go in there and buy a $10,000 house, put another 10 grand in and fix it up. That now it's worth 50 grand, and you only put in 20. Mm-hmm. And then, like you say, and then when the colonizers come, then your shit's gonna go up even higher because you know they're gonna come. I'm telling you, they moving out of the suburbs.
They tired of
what they do. They moving back to the city.
They tired of commuting.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Look at downtown Kansas City, bro.
1,000%, bro. 1,000%.
Look at downtown Kansas City.
This is the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
The key to what you just said is, Black Lift, the number 1 key to everything you said and everything we've been saying, we got to start seeing value within ourselves and within our communities. I think that what you said is a big reason why what Phil said is a big reason why people don't invest in the community, But I disagree. I think that if everybody on the block had the same mindset of this, our
That's the
community is
problem,
going to
though.
be
That's the
beautiful.
problem. They don't.
But this is the thing:
That's the problem.
is because a lot of times everybody ain't on the same accord. Kind of what Black Lift was saying. But I'm saying if we can get everybody on the same mindset of saying that, okay, the white people coming in here and they buying this bitches on pennies for $1. So it got to be some value in here. So I'm going to fix my shit up because I'm going to tell you, it's happening in Inglewood. Them black people ain't giving up their shit.
What do you mean? It doesn't happen.
But no, what I'm saying, but the thing is, Inglewood is being gentrified, but black people still own it.
Now,
and that's the point, Phil.
The reason I say now is because a lot of them was pushed out as well.
A lot were pushed out, but those were, like Black Lift was said, a lot of those people that were pushed out were the people that didn't see the value in their community and were renting.
Exactly. They were the people that were renting their entire goddamn life. 30 years, they done raised 3 generations of kids in a house that they rented, and they never thought about trying to buy or trying to own it or anything. And I guarantee you, them shitty houses, if they'd have went to a bank and had halfway decent credit, they'd have sold them houses for next to nothing because they didn't want them anyway.
I agree.
Read that what Mom just said.
Mom says, actually, Detroit is a prime example of this gentrification problem, that we are not a part of the conversation when it comes to investing in our communities. Look at what happened in New Jersey.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Is it's kind of like it's still a problem because they're not learning, or they're not getting it, or you also have people that tries to fuck it up for those areas.
I agree, because I forgot about Nipsey Hussle.
Here's what you did, right.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Look what he tried to do, and look at how people fuck it up.
But then here's what you do. You posse up, bro.
Yep.
You get more people.
Nipsey did posse up.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Hold on. I agree. Hold on.
You don't know how many people was running behind with Nipsey with that?
Not with him. It was a lot of people a part of the movement, but it wasn't a lot of people standing with solidarity with him, meaning as if he shouldn't even been out there alone like that, right? It should have been a certain movement with him. And so I agree with you. It shouldn't. My girls say this all the time. The issue is our biggest problem, and I'm going to give her kudos on this. My girls say our biggest problem is always just one.
Exactly. So what you going to do? You're going to let that one person stop your entire movement?
And so you have to
just keep going.
Y'all just, oh my God. What you just said is the same damn thing I was talking about, Dion. And we gonna stop on that.
No. I got y'all muted.
Fat boy. Pictures on me.
Fat boy. I was being cool, man. I would look about
You're muted.
Shit I was doing hit him on about Dion, but I was trying to be cool.
I got control. They can't do nothing. Y'all can't hear him, can you? No, I'm just kidding. Let me quit playing with
Hey man, fueling this damn Dion. Look, part of the problem.
I don't want to get into that again, man.
Hold on, look.
We gotta go, y'all.
And I know you're gonna get mad about this, Phil.
I ain't gonna get mad. I don't care.
Part of the problem is shit like Dion.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
Hold on.
You're right.
All jokes aside, part of that is blacks taking wealth from our communities and taking it out of the other communities.
Making a community for themselves. And making a community for if you go
where? In Boulder, Colorado.
Let me break something down to you.
A nigga could never make a community in Boulder, Colorado.
Let me break something down to you. All right. If I'm rich, or if I have an opportunity, to go somewhere where I know where white people are getting stuff and getting money and getting marketing and all this stuff, and I'm able to go, and and my mindset is to bring my people where this money is, but yet we got other people that's like, oh, he's going there with them. Come with me. I'm not telling you
letting everybody in there.
I'm not telling you to stay where you are. You
To live
come
in
with me
Boulder?
or whatever, and that community we build because you're not the person now that's saying, "Oh, he's doing this and he's doing that" or whatever, as opposed to,
So we building black communities in Boulder?
Who right?
You
Who
can?
is he?
What's wrong
Who is
with
he
it?
bringing with him?
What's wrong with it? What you mean? Who he's bringing with him?
What's the average fucking? What?
Have you seen
man.
you
What's
guys?
the average? What's the average medium house price in
You are
fucking
not.
Boulder, Colorado?
You're not watching what's happening, and you guys
Oh my God.
y'all not watching what's happening.
He ain't changing Boulder.
That ain't the point. It ain't the point. You can't like you said. That's one man. That's one man. Just like you just said, y'all made a point. He's just one man. Okay, and you trying to base everything around one, and that's why it never works because you're basing it around one. But as opposed to coming on as a group to fight and go and grow, you're still looking at someone else as that's not you're looking at that negative way. But anyway, I didn't want to get into that, but just y'all made that point for me, so I had to.
Ain't nobody make no damn point for you. That's some bullshit you talking about over there,
Y'all made a point. People tell us, people tell us.
All right, come on, get to these comments.
Let the people tell, Black families here. Real quick, we got this last one, y'all. We gonna go.
Mom said Black families partnered with Cory Booker, and now they own their community. We have to show
the knuckleheads.
Okay, I was about to say, I don't know. Okay, the knuckleheads, the value of growing their community. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
1000%.
Go ahead, read that too.
Mama said Dion is making history and changing in the negative narrative about himself that has been depicted about him in the media.
Exactly. So it's all about him. He is not helping any black people in freaking Colorado.
You a bullshit lie, nigga. What are you talking about? You ain't listening. You ain't paying no attention, dude. This man, he done brought everybody. He's bringing everybody that he can to that school. For one,
to Colorado.
Look at the percentage. Look at the percentage.
It's a 99%. It's a 99%. 99% predominantly white.
How is that helping the black? That is not helping the black community.
How is that helping the black diaspora?
That's helping his football players. It's not helping the black community.
You guys are doing exactly what y'all saying that shouldn't be done. And that's basically trying to go for someone that's trying to make something better for the community or for black folks. But that's what y'all doing. I'm not going to shame the man or be against him or whatever for where he's doing, the way he's able to do it, and the way that anybody else probably wasn't able to do or whatever, and to be able to bring other people along with him. And that's basically what he has. It's not. Not only that, he preached education. He preached attitudes or whatever before you, like he after a game or something, don't go out there acting the fool, blah 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 or whatever, or be done or whatever. He basically put discipline within these black community or these kids or whatever, what you want to call black community or whatever.
You almost slipped up and said black community, which he's not helping the black community.
He's helping his.
I'm not against him. I'm not against him.
No, I'm not against Dion.
I'm not hating on him.
Gotta go, y'all.
What I'm telling you is that he is not doing anything for his people.
How? Okay, if he's doing for his family,
he's doing for his family, and he's doing for the students that are there. But y'all trying to hold him up like, oh my God, he's the Black Messiah.
Do those students have families? Do those students have families? Ask my question.
Where they live? They live in Boulder, Colorado.
That's my point. Everybody want to look like yes. I get the fact because he has a name for himself and he making his money how he can make his bread. He making his legacy for his kids as he should or whatever because he has that opportunity to do it that most people don't. Okay, but the whole point is he's bringing other people with him that has family or whatever that still grows their community. If you look at it like that, but if you look at it like he just doing it for himself or whatever, we just like the rest of them. We just like the rest of them want to shame him, whatever, for what he's doing.
And that's what you do. That's what most black people do. Listen. That's what you do. If somebody disagrees with somebody,
leave my friend Dion alone. He is a good brother.
You trying to knock him down? No, I just don't agree with what he's doing.
Young black men. Can you read that, please?
That's still not going to change my opinion.
It's not going to change my opinion, but okay. No. Mom said he is helping to bring down the system of that school.
He's changing the lives of 30 black men that go to that school, and that's it.
That's 30. Okay, well, that's 30 more families than what it was. If you want to look at it like that, that's 30 more families than what it was.
What?
Am I right or am I wrong?
Hey man, Phil, in this goddamn, in this segment, Phil
bye.
said some crazy shit.
You on some shit, bro. Bye.
Whatever, y'all.
Hey,
Whatever.
Hey,
Some people understand and some people
Get your
don't. That's
cousin.
all it is to it. Some people understand and some don't. All right, man. That's gonna do it for us today. And once again, you see the scroll at the bottom of the screen, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233. Once again, you know, we'll probably do this all month or whatever. If you guys know anyone that need help, or if you need help, give that number a call or whatever. They most definitely have. Mom said she got me. That's what's up, baby. That's what's up. I don't mean to call your mama baby, dog.
Okay.
Shut up, man. But anyway, man, that's gonna do it for us, y'all, today, man. That was fun. I like leaving on this note. Anything, Fat Boys, or Woody? Which one y'all got? Who want to go first?
Y'all in these Dion comments is out of hand.
Leave it alone.
Me and Black Live, we here, man. We get this shit. We understand.
Y'all don't get nothing.
We understand for the greater good.
Bishop just said it. It don't have nothing to do with efforts in the community.
Well, okay. And even if that's the case, you can still basically get what you can out of it. Just like I said, those students get what they can out of it for their families. And then they can do it for their family. That's how it works. That's how you go. Trigger. But anyway.
Ain't none of that shit trickling to nobody we know, Phil. So knock that off.
And the same thing happened. And the same thing happened to the black boys that go to Alabama.
Can we get out of here?
Okay, so look, I just want to say thank y'all for another great show. Comments went crazy as always. Dear brothers, dear sister, make sure you send a small video or audio clip to firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. Once again, that's firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. Like I want to thank everybody. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page at Fired Up Broadcasting. Also, send us some monies. Make sure you add us that on GoFundMe. All of that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Make sure y'all do all of that. And, I just appreciate all y'all support, man. Every week. Y'all helped me through some of the hardest times in my life. I don't even think y'all know it. I appreciate y'all. And thank y'all.
Hey, what you got, Wood?
Man, the only thing I want to say, once again, like Fat Boy said, you know, I thank y'all for letting me join your little broadcast here. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I have fun.
Hey, call it little. Don't you call it little? No
okay. Medium size. It ain't extra large yet. The medium size.
It ain't extra large yet. Not yet.
Extra large. Okay, extra large. Fat Boy, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you, brother. And hey, the people that are here that are listening, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. We need to get more people in here because look, we got some knowledge for y'all. We sprinkling.
That's what's up.
Sprinkling.
Yes, indeed. Once again, appreciate you guys. Yeah, we appreciate you guys. And it was something else I wanted to tell y'all. I forgot before we left, but it slipped my mind. But anyway, that's gonna do it. You ready, Fat Boy?
Yep. And remember,
if they talking about you behind your back,
they behind you for a reason. Peace.
All our illusions will get the parade, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason.